Hello everyone, my name is Phawx. It looks like we have new images of the Lenovo Legion Go courtesy of Windows Report. So this looks pretty interesting, and there's some things that I wanted to kind of touch base on the images that Windows Report had kind of leaked to us. If you check the description field below, there will be a link to windowsreport.com so you can actually check out this article for yourself. Now, I've already commented on the Lenovo Legion Go previously when Windows Central reported on it. I basically said that it needs to be larger than their previous Android device, which it clearly is right now, and I thought that it was going to be using the AMD Z1E. However, I also said that potentially the Z1E cannot use any mouse-like interface, and we can see that that's not the case. So let's kind of jump into what's going on in these images. First off, I want to bring up that this obviously has a very Joy-Con-like interface. However, there is no slide rail. In fact, there's just a part of here that just inserts the controllers sideways into it, so you're not sliding down like the Joy-Cons do on a Nintendo Switch. Instead, you kind of just push them into the controller. The other part that's interesting, let's go ahead and kind of zoom out here just so we have a little bit of a better understanding of what's going on here. You can clearly see there is a mouse touchpad, which is really awesome. It's a pretty good place for it, but what is really interesting is on the backside where you're going to hold it, where your middle finger would be, is a mouse scroll wheel. That is pretty wild. I've never seen that in any particular device, so that's super interesting to see. I want to kind of zoom into some other things. This looks like there is an additional button here, and oh, okay, so these are just the back buttons that are there. Will that be comfortable to press, I wonder? That is interesting. So that we have some back buttons that are clearly visible here. And then we just have the normal buttons themselves. There does not appear to be any quick access menu button. This looks just to be a simple start button. If we go on the other side, what other controller buttons do we have? So we have two additional buttons over here. This could potentially be, let's kind of zoom in over here and see what's going on. There's some type of nubbin here. I have no idea what this is going to be. And we have the two back buttons that are on here. So that's interesting to see as well. We have the Joy-Con-like slide in. It's not sliding, it's kind of just push in rails. Now we do have two buttons here. There is potential that this is select and start, and what we see over here are kind of like the Steam button as well as the quick access menu for the controller itself. Now the screen is allegedly 8 inches here, and we hope that this is once again an EDP display. If it's VRR, that's going to be pretty sick, but this is a pretty good contender. What we're looking at right here, this particular image, what we're looking at, this is a worthwhile consideration when we start taking a look at what else is in the environment right now. We still don't have a PC gaming handheld that has removable Joy-Con-like controllers. What's interesting is Alienware tried doing this with a UFO, so I wonder how they're going to do it, but this looks like it's actually a little bit better. Let's take a look at the back of the device. All right, from this image, we can see how much of a chunky monkey this guy is, but more importantly, there's a bunch going on here. There are additional buttons, M1, M2, M3, and M4. How in the world is that going to be pressable? Like you're pressing in with the sides of your hands. Where does that come into? Or is that more only buttons to be used when the device is like a Joy-Con? Do you have the capability of basically making it two controllers like Joy-Cons can? All right, so taking a look at the top, we have a power button. I don't know if this is going to service as a fingerprint scanner as well. Looks like we have a 3.5mm audio jack. Here is the exhaust. We have what looks to be a micro SD card slot up here, and then USB-C, and then our volume buttons most likely. And then there are some other outlets over here, which I'm not sure. Potentially these are the speakers. So they're upward firing instead of downward firing or front firing. Obviously, it's not front firing because we saw it can't be front firing because obviously there are no front holes here. So it's either going to be downward firing or upward firing or both. It's maybe 4 speakers that are up and down. That'll be interesting to see. And then obviously on the bottom, we have this really chunky kickstand that kind of adopts what the Switch OLED did, which is a much smarter kickstand overall. And this is going to be able so that you can kind of put it down and play. This is a very interesting design. Probably better than I've seen others. This also gets dented out a bit. Now, obviously, this is where going to be the heatsink and fan are, but this big cutout here, this indentation that is coming outward, I wonder what type of battery we're going to be looking at here. This is all very interesting. And here we have a front shot of the device itself with the controllers connected. You can see the mouse touch control over here. We can see the additional M buttons that are on the side. And then on the bottom, it's really hard potentially, is this how you would basically like lock it in? So it goes in and then you press this button to kind of like lock it in inside. You know what I'm saying? So like it would, this is a switch to lock and unlock. I would probably say that that's what it is. But if we also look on the bottom, it doesn't look like there are any real speaker holes. So it does look like the speakers are upward firing. And then it does look like there's another USB-C port on the bottom. So I don't know what this port is down here. I don't know what this port is down here. This I would wager is a locking mechanism. And then over here, what is that? What is that port? Anyway, this is the Lenovo Legion Go. This is leaked to us by Windows Report. Again, a link in the description field below. It's looking pretty interesting. Again, I would wager that it's going to be AMD's Z1E, but this is yet another form factor that we really haven't had in the Windows PC gaming space. So it'll be interesting if Lenovo can pull this off in a worthwhile way, insofar how Joy-Cons work, which would be pretty cool to see. So that's it from me, guys. I hope this was informative. As always, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.